So you're just trying to figure out, maybe you and yours went and bought small piece of land, medium, big, doesn't matter, whatever. So at your local grocery stores, in this case I'm at HEB in Texas, like it's a freaking it's a Texas staple. But this is like kind of their rinky-dink garden center, right? And then on the other side there's more stuff. So a really good way when you're just kind of like starting out and you have no idea what you're doing, which is, 15 years in, that's still me, then you just sit there and you go to HEB or Home Depot or Lowe's, and you sit there and see what's growing. Look around you and see what's growing, and check out the the garden center, stuff like that, right? So kind of walking through here, you see like, okay, for example, this is cool. Sunflowers, right? So that's great for bees, and sunflowers are pretty hardy. And the other thing is banana trees. So let me show you guys this, and then I'll show you inside, because this is how you keep getting the creative juices flowing when you're trying to homestead or farm or ranch or whatever. It's like, here's how to get more ideas, right? Check this out. This is another one that caught my attention. This is bananas. So these are banana plant dwarf Cavendish. So it's like, this is what my wife and I want, but the infrastructure comes first. So it's like, for something like this, these take a lot of water, for example. So it's like, I'm not gonna be there every day watering it like 300 times a day and singing it lullabies. So this is where the greenhouse comes into play. But then it's like, this is where we're waiting on the rock breaker. So the rock breaker's on the way. Then we'll dig 10 feet into the rock for ground to air heat transfer, GAHT, Google it. And then, or ltg.fyi/GAHT. But then, we've got to dig 10 feet down, put it all together, do concrete pours, all these things just to get one greenhouse. And then when we finally do that, then we can have bananas. And when we have bananas, and we've already got blueberries, and I'm trying to think the other thing my wife is growing right now, but it's like, we're halfway to a smoothie. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, here's another thing, right? So there's this it's called Meal Simple. And so Meal Simple is where it's, as the name implies, and it's all this like food. It's actually pretty good. I know it's low quality, blah blah blah, but it's actually you can look around at it. It's $7, right? So it's like, okay, this is what people. I usually say 10 for me. If I'm talking about myself, I'm like, every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If I'm in the city working my corporate job, just pedal to the metal, it's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm doing stuff like this. I'm going to HEB, I'm grabbing these things, I'm cooking them when I'm really in a rush, like desperate, and not able to do meal prep Sunday. So this is like my Hail Mary. And so I usually calculate $10 to $15 per meal. So for me, in the city, all the way, go, it's $30 to $45 per day. And that's 5 days a week. So minimum, sometimes I'm having to work over the weekends as well, with, whatever team I'm on. But let me think. Okay, so 30 times 5, so $150 minimum, right? Per week, just for me. If you're married, then you double it. So now you're talking $300. And so it's like, these are kind of the ways that you can also start to figure stuff out. So like, for example, here's the greenhouse and aquaponics, right? Like somewhere in here, I'm pretty sure I'd seen mushrooms, but you've also got like Monterey chicken, right? So seasoned Monterey chicken. Let's kind of go through and look at things. Pork tenderloin, okay, that one. Coconut shrimp, man, I don't know. I might have to get to y'all back to that. Chicken breast, salmon pinwheel, feta spinach, Mediterranean salmon. Let's see, what else is something that you could be talking about? Greenhouses and the aquaponics. You could even, if you want to get really carried away, you're just like full bourgeoisie mode, then you could sit there and be also talking about salt water. Salt water's pretty cool, and salt water's great for aquariums when you want like that kind of, those kind of fish. Like usually people do it just to look at them. But you know, you also are talking about more people these days are doing swimming pools, because salt water swimming pools are way more awesome and nicer than chlorine pools. That's like the new in thing. So I'm trying to think what else. Okay, bacon Alfredo chicken, right? So maybe that's something you want to eat at your house and you want to grow it. Then it's like, okay, so you gotta have chickens, you gotta have pigs. Let's see what else is here. There's cheese. Okay, so that's coming from cows, right? So we're at pigs, cows, chickens. Okay, so you know, ranch, farm. So I mean, it's cool, right? You close the loop. Look at that. Look at that. This is like some of the stuff I used to grow, and this was me in this. I was growing like stuff like this in the city just to flex muscles and just prove it can be done. You know, 2-story tall tomato plants. You know, when I finally was just almost fully out, and I was like, okay, I'm about to have to fully call it quits. That was like my last Hail Mary, was just kind of one final hurrah. And so, I mean, this stuff, like, let me see, seasoned chicken breast with balsamic glaze. So, okay, basil. Okay, you can grow basil, asparagus, tomatoes. You can grow that. Chicken, yep. I see butter. So, you know, again, you're talking about like goats or cows, depending how you want to make your you know, take your milk products and further process them. Chicken breast and basil pesto sauce. Again, yes, okay, of course, doable. Like so much of this stuff where you don't even think about it and you're like, you know, just grabbing it and eating it. Look, I mean, this is like good stuff. This is stuff that you can like grow in a greenhouse with aquaponics.